Sawadee-ka, welcome to Hot Thai Kitchen. So today I am making Thai pineapple fried rice 2.0. The original recipe has been on the channel for over 8 years and I still stand by it. It is still fantastic, but I've grown and I've learned. So today I've got some new tricks to share and possibly even something surprising to make it even better. Let's get started. Pineapple fried rice in Thai is called khao pat sapparot. Khao means rice, pat means to stir fry, and sapparot means pineapple. And today's video is sponsored by the Thai Trade Center. So as we go, I'm also going to show you what these cryptic logos on Thai products actually mean. So the next time you go shopping, you feel like an expert. All right, first let's deal with our sapparot. You want to use fresh pineapple for this. It doesn't even have to be sweet because it's a savory dish, but if you use canned, it's going to be lackluster or it's going to be syrupy sweet depending on the brand. Now, I'm going to show you my trick for prepping your pineapple for fried rice and making a pineapple bowl all in one go. First, halve your pineapple lengthwise right through the top. And then run a small sharp knife all around the edges. Don't try to get too close to the skin here, otherwise your bowl will be too flimsy. You want to remove the core first. Angle your knife at about 45 degrees and make sure you go deep enough so that the two cuts meet. Now I'm going to score the pineapple into fried rice pieces, and that means small, 1 centimeter thick pieces, no big honkin' chunks. Take a thin spoon and scoop out the flesh, and the first bunch that comes out, that'll be perfect pieces for our fried rice. No further chopping needed. The bottom part is going to be a little trickier to get out and it's not going to be quite as perfect, but you probably won't need that for the fried rice anyway, so that's just for your snacking. Next, the heart of the fried rice, the seasoning. In the dry department, we have some curry powder, salt, sugar, and white pepper. Give that a mix. I know people are going to ask, but what kind of curry powder? Whatever you have at your regular grocery store is fine. The Thai curry powder, the one that we have in Thailand, isn't too far off from that. My rule of thumb is if it smells good to you, you can use it. But I will talk more about it in the blog post. Now, in the liquid department, we have fish sauce and soy sauce. That's it. We're going to keep it simple so that the curry powder can really shine through. If you want, as an option, you can also add this shrimp paste in oil, or what we call man gung. This is basically shrimp fat cooked with some seasoning. It's going to add sort of shrimpy, umami goodness. It's totally optional, but this is a good place to use it. As promised, now I'm going to share with you how to decipher these cryptic logos on Thai products. So I've got a few exhibits here to show you, and this Thai soy sauce bottle is a great example. You can see that there are a lot of logos here, and not all of them apply to Thailand because this product is exported all over the world. So for example, that green dot, that's the Indian vegetarian symbol, as I just found out. But what I wanted to talk about is this T right here. This is the Thailand Trust Mark. This means that the company has been certified to be environmentally friendly, socially responsible, and employs fair labor practices. So if you see this on products, that is a good thing. Sometimes you will also see this Thailand symbol, which is on this oyster sauce bottle right here. That is just the old design of the trust mark, which is no longer in use, but you might still see it out and about in the world. And I want to clarify that if you don't see the T on a product, doesn't mean that that company is environmentally unfriendly. It may just mean that they didn't go through the certification process. And just as a fun fact, this right here, this is called the Oya symbol, which is our FDA stamp of approval. You're not going to see this on all products because it's not required to be displayed, but don't worry, if any product is to be exported, they all have to have the FDA's approval. We're gonna cook soon, I promise, but I got one last secret, and that's to do with the rice. I am using coconut rice. You can use plain rice, definitely, but using coconut rice in pineapple fried rice was an idea a Patreon member shared with me, and it's brilliant. What you do is you cook rice in half water and half coconut milk, and I like to throw in a pandan leaf in there for some fragrance, but that's optional. And what you get is rice that is fragrant and the grains separate so beautifully, perfect for fried rice because of the fat, and it'll add a richness and a really, really subtle coconut flavor that I absolutely love. Walk on. Whew, This will go quickly, by the way. I'm gonna first sear my shrimp and cook them off separately, and shrimp and pineapple fried rice are a classic pairing, but you can do chicken if you'd like. We'll add more info about how you want to treat chicken in the blog post. And I always sear my shrimp separately because I want to be able to control its doneness, and I want the shrimp to be able to brown nicely. Okay, get that oil nice and hot. Yeah. Gonna add a little bit more oil, but I don't want to add too much because our coconut rice is already got fat in it. Don't touch them until they're about halfway cooked. You want to allow them to brown as much as possible. Maybe I will give a little bit of oil. Nice. Now I'm gonna flip them and let the other side cook. Look at that. All right, and that is it. Let's take them out. Let me just run this over. Eggs, rice, onion, pineapple, seasoning. Okay, I got this. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna turn the wok back on. And I'm gonna first go in with some eggs, which should be hot. And the oil is nice and shrimpy now. Oh, look at that. You can see the redness from the shrimp. I'm going to quickly scramble the eggs. You can turn the heat on high. There we go. And then once the eggs sort of like creamy and juicy like this, you can go in with the rice. Ooh, and the coconut rice is a dream to fry with. I mean, it just already separates so beautifully. And now I'm gonna add my onion, which you might be surprised why I don't add onions in the beginning, but it's because I want for this recipe for the onion to be quite crisp. Can you zoom out a bit? Okay, and now, goes very quick, you guys. All your seasoning, the dry, the wet, give that a good toss. Ooh, nice. I've seen some recipes add butter, which I think is a great idea, but I think the coconut does that for us. And now the pineapple, and at this point, I want you to give the pineapple enough time to cook and heat through. And we're also gonna let our rice toast a bit, which you know I like to do. Let the rice just sort of like toast. You can hear them toast. So they can brown a little bit and get smoky. One more time. I don't know about you, but I'm very sensitive to pineapple. Like if I eat fresh pineapple, my tongue gets sore after a couple pieces. But if they're cooked, I'm okay. So I just need to make sure that these pineapple pieces will not hurt me. Okay, that looks good. Oh, nice and brown, perfect. Okay, I am happy with that. I'm going to off the heat because my pan is smoking hot, and I'm gonna go in with cashews, deep roasted cashews. If you missed my cashew chicken recipe, check it out. I go into detail about how you make extra nutty, crunchy cashews, and that's what you want. And then I've got some tomatoes. I use Roma tomatoes because they are the least watery of all tomatoes, and then green onions. And I add all of this at the end because I really don't want it to soften and cook too much. Just the residual heat is more than enough. And that is beautiful and ready to go into our pineapple bowl. Cut. Oh my God. Wait, don't cut. The shrimp. I'm not gonna throw them in here because I want to put them on top, but just so you know, if you want them tossed, throw them in right now. Look at that. My brother and I always joke that this is the touristy pineapple fried rice. It's like you'll definitely see more pineapple bowls in establishments where they serve a lot of tourists. But it's just so much more wow, right? Like if you got people coming over or whatever, you bring this out and it's like, wow. But you bring it out on a plate and it's like, oh, okay, it's fried rice. That's nice. Okay, don't forget the shrimp. And in my old recipe, you might recall that I used to cut up half the shrimp and put it inside and then leave some for on top. I changed my mind on that. Shrimp are expensive. I want people to know exactly how many shrimp is on the plate. I'm putting them all on top. And then a final garnish of green onions. And there is your beautiful, touristy, but authentic pineapple fried rice. Nice. And by the way, you don't eat out of the pineapple bowl, in case you were wondering. It's not practical. Just trust me on this. I've tried. Get some of that juicy shrimp. Here's the bite with everything on it. Tomatoes. See the tomatoes soft already? And I didn't even really cook it. That's why you want to add it at the end. And pineapple, yes. This piece even got a little caramelized. Oh, it smells so good. You know how in most of my other Thai fried rice recipes, I always squeeze a lime on top? You don't need that. You've got everything you need. The pineapple gives that fresh acidity, the crunchiness from the cashews. There's just so much textures and flavor going on that this is absolutely perfect. And that coconut rice just gives it that little extra richness. It's almost like you wouldn't be able to tell there's coconut in here necessarily, but you'd be like, oh, there's something just a little more unctuous in this pineapple fried rice. And that is it. I hope you give this a try. The recipe, as always, will be on hotthaikitchen.com. A special thanks to the Thai Trade Center and, of course, our Patreon members who help support the show. If you want to know what Patreon is all about, check out the link in the description box below. Thank you, as always, for watching, and I will see you next time for your next delicious Thai meal.